decided to speak today about a different subject. A subject that you're all familiar with. It's Mitzvah Tzedakah. The mitzvah of giving charity. Let's see what we know. And today, Be'ezrat Hashem, I'm going to bring the source to it. I'm going to speak about the obligation of giving tzedakah, who's obligated, and the way that we have to give tzedakah, and the level of the tzedakah. And that's the main thing that many people miss, the level of tzedakah. And during the show, we'll see. I'm not going to speak about the halachot about it. First of all, let's understand what is tzedakah. So, I would like, first of all, we have to understand that the mitzvah of giving tzedakah, it's a positive command from the Torah. A person obligated to give tzedakah. Where is the source for it? Anyone have any idea? The source to it come in 3 different places, but the main source come from the Torah in Sefer Dvarim, in Parashat Re'eh, okay, in chapter 15. It starts on verse 7 to verse 11. I'm going to read it in Hebrew, and then our friend Shimon going to read it in English. I'm going to read part of it to make the show as short as we can, because we're going to try and compose as much as we can regarding tzedakah. And the Torah starts like this. כי יהיה בך אביון, מאחד אחיך, באחד שעריך נתון תיתן לו, לא ירא לבבך בתתך לו, כי בגלל הדבר הזה יברך אדוני.
Sorry, can I have the source again, please?
It's Sefer Dvarim. Remember, Parashat Re'eh, chapter 15, verse 7 until verse 11. Include 11, okay? You want to read it in English, Shimon, please?
Okay. If there shall be a destitute person among you, any of your brethren in any of your cities, in your land that Hashem your God gives you, you shall not harden your heart or close your hand against your destitute brother. Rather, you shall open your hand to him, you shall lend him his requirement, whatever is lacking to him. Beware lest there be a lawless thought in your heart, saying, the 7th year approaches, the remission year, and you will look malevolently upon your destitute brother and refuse to give him. Then he may appeal against you to Hashem, and it will be a sin upon you. You shall surely give him, and let your heart not feel bad when you give him. For in return for this matter, Hashem your God will bless you in all your deeds and in your every undertaking. For destitute people will not cease to exist within the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall surely open your hand to your brother, to your poor, and to your destitute in your land.
Okay, so we see from here that that's the main source of giving a tzedakah to a Jewish person. I repeat, Jewish person. That's the obligation. There is another 2 sources. The one is in Sefer Vayikra, in Parashat Behar. There is in chapter 25, verse 35. There the Torah tells us that the main idea that we're giving tzedakah to the poor person is has v'shalom, to avoid that person to sell himself to become a slave as a Jewish slave. Also in Sefer Bamidbar there is another source to it. So from here we see that the mitzvah of tzedakah, it's not a permission, it's an obligation. We obligate to give a tzedakah. And the Torah put a lot of emphasis on about it, that we have to give to a Jewish person. Now, I would like to go to what the Maran Shulchan Aruch. Maran Shulchan Aruch, some of you people know it as the Mechaber. He wrote the Shulchan Aruch. That's Rabbi Yosef Karo. Rabbi Yosef Karo wrote the Shulchan Aruch. No, not the Rama. The Shulchan Aruch. Rabbi Yosef Karo, born in Spain in the city of Toledo. Okay? He born 532 years ago. And he wrote the Shulchan Aruch. He was among those that have to fled from Spain during the Spanish Inquisition. He fled until he get to Eretz Israel, and he settled in the city of Tzfat, and that's where he buried. He buried in Tzfat. And in the Shulchan Aruch, in Siman is a chapter, Resh Mem Het, that means 248, he said like this, listen. אפילו העני המתפרנס מן הצדקה חייב לתת ממה שיתנו לו. That's mean, listen to that, who's the obligation? A person that is a poor person, and he receive actually tzedakah, he himself obligate to give a tzedakah from what he gets. Many of us think, I have money, I must give. No. No. Even a poor person that receives tzedakah, he's obligated to give from what he gets. Okay, let's continue. Now I'm going to go to Torah Shebe'al Peh. Torah Shebe'al Peh, the Gemarot. The Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra, in page 9, folio 1. Listen what Hazal tell us. Shkula tzedakah keneged kol ha-mitzvot. The mitzvah of tzedakah, it's equivalent to all the mitzvot. One mitzvah, it's equivalent to all the other mitzvot that we have in the Torah.
Even above ואהבת לרעך כמוך.
It's equivalent. I don't know if it's above, it's equivalent. Now ask me why. How can you say that? So Hazal explained in the Gemara like this. Listen what Hazal say. Hanoten tzedakah, a person that gives tzedakah, mosif haim la'olam. By that you give tzedakah, you're adding life to the world. Nachon? Because a person can survive, can live. He say, al kach, because you give it, what do you become? You become a partner to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And listen what the smartest man ever said, that Shlomo HaMelech wrote in the book of Mishlei, in chapter Yud, verse 2. Utzdaka tatzil mimavet. You remember that verse? That means the merit of the tzedakah will save from death, save life. Nahon? But if you will have enough time, I want to share with you a little story about it, and you'll understand what does it mean tzedakah tatzil mimavet. And it's a true story that happened in Israel not long ago. Hazal continue and say in the same Gemara in page 10, folio 1, listen like this. Kol ha-ma'alim עיניו מן הצדקה כאילו עובד עבודת כוכבים. I will translate. A person that ignore giving tzedakah, that means he see a poor person and he ignore him. You pretend that he didn't see him. He is exactly like a person that worship idols. Do you understand the level of tzedakah? Now let's continue. Shulchan Aruch, continue. The Maran Shulchan Aruch wrote in Yoreh De'ah, Resh Mem Tet, Seif Dalet, that means chapter 249, verse 4. Chova latet tzedakah lekol ani. You obligate to give a tzedakah to every poor person. Ve'afilu gorgeret ahat. What does it mean gorgeret ahat? Let's call it 1 rein, a few cents. You obligate to give a tzedakah to everyone, even if you have to give 1 rein, a few cents, 50 cents. Now you ask me why. We'll speak about it. There's other thing that it say here. The question becomes, we have a lot of mishulachim that they collect for others. Are we obligated to give or not? If people will ask you. So I saw in Derech HaEmunah, Ilchot Matnot, Aniyim, Siman Zayin, Saif Mem Het. There he said that there is no obligation to give to them. It's good to give to them, it's very important to give to them, but you're not obligated. Why? Oh, we'll ask why. No, ask me why. Because him himself, he doesn't benefit from it. Where is the money going? To his own pocket. He take 40, some people take 49%. And the person that actually is supposed to get, he collecting, let's say, for Haim Yankel.
Yeshiva.
Or for yeshiva.
Sometimes it says prati.
If it's private, it's a different story. But what I'm saying, people come to collect for institute. Then it's not an obligation. But definitely you should give. Because those that collect for others, it's going to go on the air. I have to be very careful what I'm saying. They take certain percent. I don't want to say how much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. How to give it tzedakah? I didn't want to say anything. How do we have to give it tzedakah? A person that gives it tzedakah have to give it with a smiley face, with a happy face. Hazal, the Maran Shulchan Aruch, who pasken that le'alacha in Siman Resh Mem Tet, Saif Gimel. That when a person gives it tzedakah, have to give it beseder, panim yafot u'mechaychot ve'besimcha. That when you give it tzedakah, you should do it with happiness, with smiley face. But if a person didn't give a tzedakah with a smiley face, or he was cross, just take it, just leave me alone. The Maran Shulchan Aruch wrote, pasken, in Simash Resh Mem Tet, Saif Gimel, chapter 28, chapter 249, verse 3, Hefsid et zchut ha-mitzvah. He lost the merit of that mitzvah. That means when you give tzedakah, you learn from here, you have to do it with a smiley face, with happiness. Not just to give. I'm doing you a favor.
You know that when you give tzedakah and the receiver doesn't know who it's from.
Oh, we'll get
That's
to
a high
it. We
level.
get to the level. Now I'm going stages.
I'm saying when you give tzedakah like that, how do you perform having a happy face? Because the receiver doesn't see you.
No, so that's exactly the highest. Because you're giving it with a happy.
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't know who you
Who's
give.
going to,
Yeah, I'll get to it. Let's get to another situation. Person doesn't have. He's stuck. Or he didn't brought his wallet. So he can't give tzedakah at that time. And a poor person comes to him. The Shulchan Aruch write in Resh Mem Tet, 249, verse 4. Listen. A person שאין באפשרותו לתת צדקה לעני, יפייסנו בדברים ויתנצל לפניו שרוצה לתת, אבל הוא מצטער שאין לו מה לתת. That means that the person that he want to give, but he forgot his wallet, or he didn't bring money with him, or he didn't draw money. You have to say to him, I would love to give you, I'm sorry. You have to apologize to him, speak to him nicely, just to explain to him why you can't give him. Not only that, what is, if a person can't give financially, there's certain people can't. What they should do, listen what they should do. They can help in any method. If it's with food, clothes, any help that can help a poor person. The third one, that if a person really can't help him, give him money, but he can find the poor person a job, or he can teach him a profession, that's the highest level. Why? Because to avoid that person to go and beg for money. Now, I'm going to speak about the level. The Rambam. Everyone heard the Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, born in Cordova. Cordova is in Spain. He born 884 years ago. And he wrote in Ilchot Matnot Aniyim, in the law of giving tzedakah, Matnot Aniyim. He said that there is these 8 different levels, and I'm going to start from the highest level to the lower level. To understand, when we give tzedakah, what is the highest level, what is the lowest level? But before I continue, there is any question. I forget to mention, women not obligated to give money. You know that? A matter of fact, okay, there is some woman here. Women should not give tzedakah. Oh, Baruch Hashem, very good question. You look surprised. Tell you.
What if a woman is very wealthy and she's lost her husband? And she's got a lot of
No, we're not talking about that. Wait, I'll get to everything. A woman should ask the permission of her husband, even if she works, because her money, Hazal tell us in the Gemara, belong to the husband. It's paskin le'alacha. And if she give it tzedakah, she have to consult with her husband before to get a permission, and how much money she can give, that the husband not going to get cross for shlom bayit. Now, you say if she lives by herself, and she's very wealthy, then she's independent. Then she can give whatever she wants. But if she married, she have to get the permission from the husband to give. Who? Yes, Brian, sorry?
She give her time and she's in a, it belongs to her. By helping other people, going to shopping.
But she have to get the permission from the husband. That's the chokhmah. Yes.
Is the obligation of tzedakah the same with a Jew and a non-Jew?
Oh, I waited for that question. If you remember what I start, the merit of giving tzedakah to a Jewish person. To give tzedakah, can I answer that part in the end when we switch off, because it's going to go on the air? I have to be careful. You know, I mean, I know that I have Paul here. If I need him, I'm sure that he'll help me, but...
Well, I believe in transparency.
Okay, we'll speak later, not now. Not now.
Transparency.
I don't want to take chances. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the 8th level. Yes, sorry, Philip.
If a woman has to get her husband's permission, does she have to get permission every time, or can she get a blanket permission right from the start?
Okay, so if they agree that there's a certain amount that she can give, the husband agree with that. I don't mind. Give them every time that they come. Let's say that you agree that she'll give 100 rand, 200 rand, 500 rand, whatever, I don't know, whatever. You agree to it and you're not going to get cross. Well, it's okay. But we're talking here about a poor person that come. In the olden days, people used to come and they really have nothing. Nothing to eat, nothing to marry their kids. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so before I continue, any more question? No. So the Rambam wrote in
About
Ilchot...
that poor person, can I just ask you
Yes,
something
yes.
about that poor person? You said that that poor person who received tzedakah, he's also obliged to give tzedakah.
That's right.
So now the point is, but what if he's very poor? I mean, can't he?
Oh, very good. So what Paul asking, let's say that he got to there 100 rand. Nahon, what is 100 rand?
How much he give?
Give it for met. Even if he give whatever he can give, it's enough. You have to give it to another poor person. You understand? Because usually the rich people together and the poor people together. You never see poor people and rich people together. It doesn't go. It's like water and fire. Okay, so the Rambam in Ilchot Matnot Aniyim say like this, that the highest level that the person that support a Jewish person that have no money, and he support him and giving him whatever he need, or he lend them the money, or he find them a job, as long that he doesn't have to go and beg for money. That means if a person is rich or is well connected and he know that there is a poor person that need the money, he support them without getting anything back. Not only that, he can lend them the money without interest, obviously, that one day he will pay, or he find them a job, as long that he doesn't have to go and beg for money. The second level below that, one below, that the person that give poor people, and he doesn't know who he give, and the poor person that receive, those poor that receive, doesn't know who they receive it from. That's the second. The third one, that lower than that a person give the money, he doesn't know who he give it. But No, he know who he give it, but the person that received it doesn't know who he received it from. The fourth level, that a person that received the money know who he received it from, but the person that given it doesn't know who he given it to. That we see from here that the highest level, here we see, that although that you that don't know who you give, but if people know that you give, you don't get the highest merit. The highest merit that you don't know who you're giving it. Why? Because you're doing for the sake of heaven. Okay. Yes.
Money to the Chet. Is that their account? Because you don't know who you're giving it to, and they don't know where it's coming from.
I think that they know. They have no. The poor people. Yes, 100%. Sorry, I didn't understand. No, you're talking about the poor people. Yes, 100%. Okay, the fifth level, that a person that given a poor people before he come and ask. That means you know that there is a poor person, you come and you give him the money before we ask. Who ask? Sorry. Before the person come and ask for money. The sixth level is.
But what if he thinks that? What if he's insulted? What if he's a poor person who doesn't want to receive tzedakah?
You see, you have to know who you give. You have to know who you give. And this game is such a sensitive game. You know, I opened a charity 25 years ago. We registered this charity 2 months ago. Menachem is one of our secretary here. And we're waiting for the section 18A. I named it after my mom, Yad Esther, the name of the charity. And you can ask Menachem. There are certain people that he deliver, I don't even know who he give. And I never ask. Nachon Menachem? It's not so simple to give to people. You have to be careful how you do that.
What happens if somebody,
Yeah, I'm listening.
let's say they ask for money, but they don't really need it.
Oh.
So is that, do you still fulfill your obligation by giving the...
If they don't need. Why do you give them? There's others.
No.
Come to me, I'll tell you how many I have.
No, but you don't know that they don't.
If you don't know, what can you do? So you have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know, I was in shul here, and I didn't realize that there's people that's sitting next to you that they really need. And you hear it via someone else. The people that need never gonna ask. They're too embarrassed.
Sometimes they're desperate.
If they're desperate, then they come. But what I'm trying to say in general, they have a dignity, and that's what Rambam wrote the level, how to give, you understand? The seventh level, that a person does give the poor person, he given it with happiness, but he doesn't give it as much that he should, or as much that he can give. You understand what I'm saying? And the lowest level, that a person give it tzedakah with sadness and not with happy. That's the lowest level. So we see that we have 8 levels the Rambam wrote them down. But Asol Halacha,
Explain with sadness and
what sadness? That it's very hard for him. You know, there's many people that's very hard for him to put their hand to their pocket. Sometimes the other hand always holding him. It's very difficult for him. And in the end, when he managed to put it in, so he'll give you whatever, 20 rand, 50 rand. And the Nebuch get 20 rand. He can give it easily 1,000 rand.
But that source
And with the 20 rand that he give you, he feels sorry. And he upset. That's the lowest. Stingy, miser,
And then even after once they've given, they complain. Then
Okay. So, what's happening in our life today? How does it work? So I see that most of the poskim paskim, the highest level of giving tzedakah today is to Talmidei Chachamim, to people that sit and study Torah, listen to me, that they poor and they need to support their family. That's the highest level. By that you're giving them and you support them, you also share with them the Torah that they study. Yisachar v'Zvulun. You hear about it. Zvulun v'Yisachar. That means that the highest merit to support Talmidei Chachamim. Give me a few more minutes, I want to tell you a story. Remember we say that the Chacham Mikol Adam, Shlomo HaMelech say, U'tzedaka tatzil mimavet. You remember? In Sefer Mishlei. I want to tell you a story. A true story that happened in Eretz Israel with a young man by the name of Moshe Lev. Moshe Lev was a very good salesman. He used to sell a ticket of Lotto and Toto in Israel. You know those boxes that they have in Israel, that you fill them up? He used to sell them. And he became such a good salesman that they told him that he have to they moved them to the center of Tel Aviv, where? In Dizengoff Center. He have to sell there. Moshe Lev also started to become religious. One morning, it was Ta'anit Esther. Moshe Lev started to become religious. He decided he'll fast today. Before he left, his sister called him and he said, Moshe Lev, I know that you're going to work. Take with you the packet of waffle. Take it, shouldn't I take it? I need to fast. Then a spark came to me. What? I'll take it because I'll break the fast with that. And then I'll run immediately to listen to the Megillah reading. He took it. Moshe Lev gone and he busy all day. And suddenly you see a poor person approached him. He smiled to them and he said, look, can I give you tzedakah? The poor person, his eyes got litten. So Moshe Lev put his hand in his pocket and took whatever money. He said, why, you don't want the money? He said, no. The poor person said, no. He pointed his finger to the waffle that was on the table. Moshe Lev didn't understand now. For a split of a second, he was in doubt. Why? Because that's supposed to break the fast with. But the poor person wanted. What should I do? He wake up. For me, he's thinking. He given it the poor person the waffle, and the poor person walked. Moshe Lev sitting, and he's saying to himself, okay, I've given him the waffle, but how I'm going to break the fast? Okay, he's thinking. He said, you know what, I'll go to the quickest supermarket next door and I'll buy me another packet of waffle. So he crossed the street to the big shopping center. And he closed the door, but the chair was outside, everything was outside where he sat. And he gone to the shopping center. While he was in a shopping center, a suicide bomber that was planning to enter the big shopping center, but because the high security realized that they're going to catch him, he decided, no, I'll do it in Dizengoff. Where? On the same place where Moshe Lev sell his ticket. And that suicide bomber exploded himself. Many people that dressed with costume to celebrate Purim couldn't, unfortunately. Many got injured, many got killed. And the place of Moshe Lev got destroyed completely. 2 weeks, no one knows where's Moshe Lev. One day Moshe Lev arrived. a man that was friendly with him, he said to him, "Are you Moshe Lev? Are you sure?" He shook him. He said, "Yes, what's wrong with you?" He said, "For 2 weeks, I'm saying Kaddish on you." He said, "What do you mean you're saying Kaddish on me?" He said, "Don't you remember the suicide woman?" He said, "Yes. I was thinking that on the same chair was full of blood. I was thinking that it's you." He said, "Come, I'll tell you the story." And he told them what's happened. That tzedakah tatzil mimavet, everyone think that the tzedakah will save the poor person. Not only the poor person, it will save yourself when you give tzedakah. And there is many stories like this. Also with daughter of Rabbi Akiva. But I would like to bless everyone and all of us here that we should all merit to be amongst those that give and not receive. And by Ezrat Hashem, if we will give tzedakah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bless all of us with prosperity and health. And also we should merit to see Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mera b'yameinu, amen, ken yeh ratzon.